The day fire fell, the wind carried heat before the fire. Balin tasted it before he saw it. Iron, smoke, and something fouler, old ash. He stood on the outer ramparts of Erebor, scanning the horizon. The sky was unusually pale, streaked with red-veined clouds like old blood left to rot. Behind him, the sounds of forge hammers echoed through the mountain. Laughter from the lower market halls bounced off stone like wind chimes. Dwarven children raced through tunnels under their mothers, scolding. The mountain lived, and it never expected to die. A shadow moved across the sun. The birds, hundreds of them, erupted from the forest edge like ash from a vent. Balin froze. His eyes fixed northward, the black shape growing larger in the sky didn't flap like a bird. It surged, it coiled the air around it. The mountain groaned, he shouted too late. The front gate shattered. The blast of flame wasn't a wave, it was a wall. The stone around the entry buckled inward as if the mountain bowed. The guard post exploded into light. Dwarves turned to cinder mid-step. Balin stumbled backward, the blast wave throwing him against the pillar behind. A roar, a scream, no voice. Only thunder-given hunger Smaug. He came not with menace but with certainty. No hesitation, no cruelty, just purpose. Within minutes the gold-veined corridors turned black. Torchlight flickered and vanished in the roar of wind and fire. Inside the king's chamber, Thror stood silent. From his high balcony he watched. As the vaults he'd filled, the pride he'd polished melted into rivers. He didn't call for guards, he didn't run. He clenched the sides of his throne, as though they could hold the mountain together. He did not see his grandson running through the smoke. Thorin sprinted through collapsing halls, blade drawn, his beard singed and lungs burning. He called for Balin, for his brother, for anyone. The deeper he went, the fewer voices answered. The fire was not chasing him. It was ahead of him, winding through tunnels like breath from a demon. From the vaults came a sound, not rage, but pleasure. Smaug's laughter was a rumble felt through the bones of the mountain. He was not burning for hate, he burned to nest. In the heart of Erebor, the dragon twisted through treasure like a serpent through leaves. The coins hissed under his scales. Statues cracked beneath his tail. Gems vanished into his yawning, fire-lit mouth. No guards challenged him. The few who tried were charred where they stood. One brave soul threw a spear. It clinked against a gold ingot. Smaug never noticed. The western corridors collapsed one by one. Smoke funneled through the Blackstone canals. The Black River, once, used to ferry goods to the outer lands, boiled from beneath. Screams never reached the surface. At the western stair, a dozen dwarves made their stand. They bore axes blackened by soot, shields cracked from falling stone, but none retreated. Behind them, the side tunnel wound upward toward the hidden exit. They did not guard the stair to hold it. They stood because no one else would. Thorin joined them. His eyes were wild, soot covering his face like war paint. His voice was hoarse, no longer calling names, only roaring back at the fire. They struck down two beastlings that surged ahead of the dragon's heat, twisted lizard things pulled from the deepest dark. But when Smaug's breath seared the stair itself, stone turned to steam, and fire coated everything. The stair vanished behind flame. Thorin crawled from the ash with half his cloak gone, his arm burned, his legs shaking. But the tunnel opened to starlight. They reached the exit. The survivors, a mere handful, stumbled into the night outside Erebor. The mountain stood behind them like a torch, casting golden light into the valley of Dale. No one spoke. Thror collapsed. Balin wept. Thorin turned back. A single ember still clung to his hand. He rubbed it between thumb and finger. The heat was gone, but it had left something behind. He looked up and swore, beneath stars that still dared to shine, that one day Erebor would burn again, but under dwarven fire.